Like many other people, video games were a huge aspect of my life, especially during my childhood. But for me, I had some special games that probably weren't meant for 5-year-olds like me back then. Pretty much most games I had enjoyed as a little kid in one way or another, but there were many games I raged at and broke 5 controllers and at least 4 iPads. Some of these games you relate to, and some you might not. I was a pretty weird kid and I wasn't like the others. So without further ado, let's start this video. So there are a ton of video games that I've played as a kid, as well as many others, but that were and still are extremely popular even in its older days. But there were games that had its charm and uniqueness. The specific game I'm hinting at is... We all had at least one memory with Minecraft Legacy Edition, no matter what console it was played on. Unless you live in like Antarctica or something. The game's first Legacy Edition was released on May 9th, 2012 on the Xbox 360 by Mojang and 4J Studios. I specifically played on the Xbox 360 and also the PlayStation 3, because they were the only consoles I had owned since then. The first time I played this version of Minecraft was in 2014, right when the Xbox One version had come out. I was only 4 years old when I started playing this, so this is really why I only had the better memories when I was able to process them. Sitting on the living room couch and staring at the bright TV screen with Minecraft music playing at high volume for the whole house to hear had something special to me. Sadly, this version of the game started to die out when Minecraft Bedrock came out sometime in 2017, mainly because the game heavily wanted you to switch to the newer version. Although it did get pretty boring because the version became pretty much obsolete because of a multitude of reasons. People were switching to the Bedrock version or had bought a PC and just played the Java version, or they just grew up and played other games. But what I really hated about the game were the kids and the mini games. The people mainly consisted of little kids like me back then, and holy mother of god were they toxic. I was playing the battle mini games and I turned off the Xbox while it was still playing Minecraft and almost corrupted my save files because these kids were better than me at Minecraft. Seriously, how can you be bad at Minecraft? Overall, I give the memories of this version of the game a solid 9 out of 10, minus 1 point because of the toxic community that led with it. The memories of modern Minecraft aren't exactly the most memorable considering the fact that we're in those days right now and we don't have to reminisce them. Now, this next game, or games I should say, is a bit more niche to the community but still had a special place in my heart. It was made by a team of people, and this team of people are known to make many popular games, some of which got on the GameCube. This collection of games were made by the Behemoth is undoubtedly the best and most memorable Flash game company to ever exist. Founded in 2003, they're known for their most popular games like BattleBlock Theater and Castle Crashers. I played both games very much. I love Castle Crashers so much even to this day, somewhat because the game uses a lot of water flame songs, like Jumper. It also has fun gameplay and extremely hard bosses, which I died way too many times to. The Behemoth also made games like Alien Hominid on pretty much the majority of their games on widely known game consoles like the GameCube and most importantly the Xbox 360. And yes, most of these games that are on the list are most likely on the Xbox 360. I mainly played BattleBlock Theater as a 6-year-old without understanding anything the narrator said because I was 6 years old. You think I understood even a guy my age right now would say? Yes. Anyway, BattleBlock Theater was my favorite out of the bunch from the Behemoth because it wasn't a fighting game like Castle Crashers. Back then I hated fighting games but always loved messing around in those games without actually having to play the game. I loved puzzle games as well, especially hard ones. And I only just beat BattleBlock Theater a couple years ago because the game was so hard I quit. And I've only seen the Castle Crashers ending through my brother's playthrough. I couldn't even beat Castle Crashers even today because the game has a very long gameplay length. I didn't and still don't have the patience and strength to play the game fully. Overall, the Behemoth game memories will get a strong but solid 8 out of 10. It wasn't the best memories anyone can think of, but no memories have to be perfect. And I'm still waiting for a BattleBlock Theater remaster. So this next game on the list is probably the most niche out of any of these games on the list because this game was rarely played by popular YouTubers like Markiplier and especially Jacksepticeye. This is the first game to have an exceeding amount of blood in this list. Matter of fact, you can even control the amount of blood you want us to see. This game is none other than Happy Wheels was originally released on June 4th, 2010, a month before I was born. I played this game on my channel before, so if you want to see that video where I did, check it out here. This game is a side-scrolling, ragdoll, physics, platformer, and browser game made by a company known as Fancy Force, but developed fully by Jim Bonacci. And the music playing in the background was composed by Zankowski. It features several game characters from Irresponsible Dad, Segue Guy, Old Wheelchair Guy, Effective Shopper. God, these are generic names. It was a name that influenced me on the internet the most, mainly because of Jacksepticeye. He was a man that literally made me type Happy Wheels Fred download for the first time into the search bar on my 2011 Mac with the latest operating system. His sets of playthroughs for the game really were entertaining to me, mainly because I had gore in it, not real gore, and that's a kind of freak. Yes, you are. Will you shut? It was really a funny but weird experience every time I played it, even to this day. Oh my god, my cat is on my fucking desk. The weird sounds the characters make when they go through such pain was for some reason funny to me as a first grader. Just listen. Jeez, I have really weird humor. But anyway, there isn't much to say about this game because all of its content was pretty much the same, and there has been and probably will never be another content update to the game because the game already had so much to offer and it just died out over the years. No popular or potentially any YouTuber plays it that often anymore, and the game was only popular in its prime. And for that, overall, I have to give it a 6.5 out of 10. The game itself isn't the most fun to play, but it was still pretty decently fun. But since the game has been the same for years, there's really no way to talk about anything else but its foundation and things like that. Now, this last game was probably known to a lot of people, especially to trolls on YouTube and a guy named Bodle40. He was known for his gameplays of this particular game back in the day, and this game is popular because of his types of videos. This last game is known to be... I don't think Agario has any music, so I just put nothing. Agario is probably the most known IO game out there in front of Slither.io. It was made by Matthias Valadares. What the fuck? Matthias Valadares. I don't know how to say that shit. And published by Miniclip to the browser on April 28th, 2015. The premise of the game is that you are a small blob that has to eat whatever this is to grow bigger and eat other people if you can. The game's motto is to eat or to be eaten. Obviously, that's the most basic motto we could have put there, but it kind of reflects on the game itself as well. I was more focused on just playing rather than competing for the top of the leaderboard and getting viruses on my computer. There were websites out there that were literally just Agario but on steroids. And it also gave me a vibe. This game had really good memories in mind and probably contained one of the best. I played with my brother a lot and it contributed to most of my Agario memories. However, like Happy Wheels, there isn't much to say about this game either. It was popular for its simple mechanics and competition, but that was in 2015. I actually can't believe that was 10 years ago still. I was really into the game for about a year, maybe less. That is why it's last on this list. Don't get me wrong, it's still a good and fun game, but it's been the same for years and there's no new stuff to it. And I don't even think there's much players playing it right now as we speak. Overall, I give this experience a 7 out of 10. Again, not the best because of its prolonging simplicity, and not much to be said about this game either. So that is pretty much about it for all the childhood games that I've played. There's definitely a multitude of games that were really fun at the ripe age of 6, and it's like a very great impact on my life. I wouldn't be on the internet as much if I didn't play such games like these as a child and get introduced to so many YouTubers. But anyway, that's about it, and I hope to see you in my next video. See ya.